And we're back. Welcome to another episode of Successful Marketing, Sales, and Relationships for adult small business owners and entrepreneurs, where we teach you how to go from well off to wealthy. I am your host, best-selling author Sadon Long, and it is Tuesday. So thank you for tuning in today. And before we get started, again, just want to say, if you are interested in getting a free 30 with me, make sure you go over to grownandrich.com. If you click the Just Started button, what will happen is they'll send me an email. I'll send you one back. We'll set up a time and we'll talk about everything concerning your business and anything that you learn that you could then use to make money now, tomorrow, and for 10 years to come, you get to keep free of charge. Again, if you want a free 30 with me, go over to grownandrich.com. Now, let's get started. Today's topic is something that is very near and dear to my heart. It is literally like one of the main things that I talk about with clients during those free 30s, those workshops, those one-on-ones that I'm doing. It's why you're not able to pay yourself six figures yet. Again, why are you not able to pay yourself a higher salary as a business owner? Because there's a difference between being a business operator and a business owner. Now, as a business owner, you should be able to pull money out for your salary without affecting profits, without affecting your ability to pay your bills, without having any stress whatsoever. You should be able to get your check each and every month. Because if you don't, how are you going to pay your bills? If the business isn't doing well enough to pay you a livable wage, how are you going to take care of your family? How are you going to get the car you want? How are you going to help your parents? How are you going to take the vacation? How are you going to fight inflation? How are you going to get the new house? So again, you have to be able to pay yourself as a business owner. And if you're not able to pay yourself a high enough wage, then it just really does not become very fun for you to own a business. Because now you're your best employee. Now you got to work most of the weekends, most of the evenings. Now you probably can't attract the people that you really want to hire. Because let's be real, great people want to make a great living. So if somebody who can really help you and is really good at their job is available, and you can't afford to pay them what other people would pay them, how do you get them? Let's be clear. We talk about hiring cheap marketing people all the time. And for my cheap marketing people, hey man, do better, make people some money, and you won't be cheap anymore. But we talk about hiring cheap marketing people all the time. People who post for you, but the posts don't make any money. Okay. You really want to hire somebody who could make you $1 million. But that person's not going to come for $50, for $500, for $900. Listen to what you're saying. I want somebody to make me $1 million, but I only want to pay them $500 to do it. Now, is it possible? Yes. But that is lightning in the bottle because there are literally people I've made 6 or 7 figures for when I was first starting out that I charged less than $5,000. There were literally people that sat with me for an hour and paid me $100 and then went out and made 20 grand. So yes, there is the possibility of that, but those people are typically new and are typically hard to find. Okay, so what you're trying to do is find a needle in a haystack if that's the method you're trying to use. And more times than not, you're probably going to miss. Because once I started realizing the type of revenue I could generate, the type of problems I could solve, I started charging more. And because I charge what I charge, now I can come on here and do lives and podcasts and give away information to people who don't have the money to pay somebody like me so that they can then avoid hiring some of the people that they're hiring because hiring those people doesn't move the needle for their business. So back to what I'm saying, which is you got to be able to pay yourself. If you can't pay yourself, then you're probably going to go out of business. With that said, how do we pay ourselves? Okay. Well, businesses, they run on money. They literally eat money. You got to keep shoveling money into them each and every day because every day something could break. Every day something's going to happen that you may need some money for. Whether it be payroll, whether it be to get the air conditioning fixed, whether it be to go out and get some more supplies. So you're going to need some money or at least some credit. But it's really hard to get credit if you don't have a track record of having sales, which means that you aren't making any money. So for my business owners at home who want credit, yeah, you got to be able to pay your bills. You got to be able to prove that you're going to be able to pay that money back, because even if you have an LLC, you're still going to be the personal guarantee who signs for that loan. And there are very few banks right now that are not considering your personal history and ability to pay when giving your business a loan. So think about it and say, well, how do I get my money up? Because if I get my money up, I can get my credit up. So here's how we start to get our money up. So like I said before, businesses run on money. Okay. Money comes from sales. Sales comes from customers. Customers come from leads. Leads come from a variety of different places. Number one, leads come from referral. Okay. Somebody knew somebody who knew you and said, hey, my friend, my girl, my homie, my partner can do that for you for a price. So the one place that leads come from is referral. Number two, leads can come from opt-ins. Okay. What is an opt-in? When somebody goes to your website or goes to your Facebook business page and they leave their information. So, for example, you're looking for digital marketing and you're a woman and you go to digital marketing for women. And I say, hey, man, there's a free 30 with me. You click the button, you leave me your information. That is an opt-in. So now that I have your information, I'm now able to communicate with you. I'm able to send you a text message, a DM, an email. I'm able to ask you some questions in a chat so that we can then build enough rapport and trust for you to say, hey, this is the guy I want to hire. This is the guy I think can help me. This is the guy that I believe in, and I'm willing to give him an endorsement with my money. So, number one, leads come from referral. Number two, leads come from opt-ins. Now, the thing about an opt-in is you got to be able to get them from the internet, from the platform, to your page and or website. So that's where your marketing comes in, and promotion, and advertising. Okay. So you can't get a sale from somebody who doesn't know you, obviously, because they don't know you. You can't get a sale from somebody who doesn't trust you because they don't trust you enough to give you their information, i.e. they don't trust you enough to get an opt-in. And remember, we just said that you need an opt-in in order to get a lead. And if you get a lead, now a lead has to be transformed into a sale. So the promotion, the marketing, and the advertising, which are all three different things, go hand in hand in order to create a sale. So the advertising is, okay, what platforms are we going to use to get our message out there? Okay, are we going to use social media? Are we going to use billboards? Are we going to use flyers? What type of advertising are we going to do? Is it going to be mass? Is it going to be targeted? So that's the strategy of getting the message out. Promotion is the frequency and the aggressiveness with which you do it. Is this going to be a slow moving campaign? Is this going to be a 3-day, all out, in your face, 24 hours a day, noise making campaign? What is it going to be? How hard are we going to promote? How many people do we have promoting? And then the marketing is, what are we going to say when we start trying to amplify our message? What are we going to say on these platforms? And how do we say it in a way that gets people interested enough to come and give us their information, i.e. an opt-in? Okay. So when you're sitting down with your marketing person or you're sitting down to write your content, okay, what are you saying that is going to be interesting enough to take a person from minding their business, playing on their phone, sitting in their car, to then going to your page, going to your website, seeing what you have, and then giving you their information. See, the reason I'm saying this and the reason I'm bringing it up is because most of us are sitting down, we're creating content, but we're not creating customized, customer-driven content. Meaning that we're not creating content that is specifically made for the people who are most likely to give us some money. Okay. We're not creating content for people who are most likely going to benefit from a relationship with us, a service done by us, or just an introduction to us in general. Our insight, our skills, our abilities, our unique gifts. So if you're creating something for a specific group of people, but then you're talking to everybody, how does that specific group of people know that you are talking to them? Now, for my people at home, I know a lot of you are saying, well, I want to make a business that's for everybody. Well, things that are for everybody are called generic, or, generic. We'll go with the word generic. So things that are generic very seldom command a very high price. You know, beer, vodka, those are considered low shelf. Okay. But top shelf businesses are the ones that are making all the money. When you look at business income, you'll see that there's probably about 1% of the companies making 70% of the revenue. Now, does that mean there's not money out there for you? It absolutely is money out there for you. But if the 1% is making the majority of the revenue, how are you going to get your customer to leave the 1% and come to you by just selling beer? Yeah. If you're a coach, okay, what kind of coach are you? Because again, people need to trust you. And when people don't understand and when people are confused about what you do, the trust level lowers. And if the trust level lowers, your ability to get an opt-in lowers, your ability to turn an opt-in into a lead lowers, your ability to turn a lead into a sale lowers. So if they can't trust you and they don't understand what you do, how are you then going to leverage your relationship with them and this attention that you got from this like or view or insight into a sale? Because insights are not sales. Follows are not sales. Views are not sales. And your business runs on what comes from a sale, which is money. So now let's look at it. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Let's get right down to it. Am I saying something interesting enough to get the attention of the person who's most likely going to benefit from a relationship with me? Again, I am talking to small business owners with small teams. I'm talking to solopreneurs. I'm talking to people unhappy with the amount of revenue they're seeing currently. I am talking to grown folks who have sunk a lot of money and time into this thing and can't get out without trying to at least get their money back. Those are people I'm talking to. I'm talking to people who are using buzzwords like generational wealth. If there's no sales, there's no wealth transfer. And if there's no wealth transfer, there's no generational wealth. And a sale comes from a lead. A lead is a person that you can actually reach out, talk to, have a conversation with, to then possibly turn into a sale. But you got to get them to opt in, because if you don't know them, how are you going to get them to opt in? If they don't know you, how are they going to know to opt in? How are they going to know to go to your page? How are they going to know to go to your website? How are they going to know to call your number? Okay. And I know you're saying, well, yeah, that's why I need a marketing person. But do you have a marketing person who knows how to turn it into a sale? Who is thinking with every move they make, okay, this is going to get us closer to getting a sale. I'll give you an example. Got a friend who is running a sale right now. And my question to them was, how are you using the amount of money you're taking off to get people to buy? And they didn't have an answer. They just assumed that cheaper would just make people come out of the woodwork. But again, sale is like beer. It's generic. It's a commodity. It is not specialized. It is not branded. It is just words that don't move anybody to take an action. So with that being said, if I was running the sale, I'd call it my lowest price of the season. I'd say it only goes to the first 100 people. I'd say if you don't get it by Friday, it's going away. I'd say if you buy today, you get an additional gift, or you get an additional 30 minutes with me, or you get something special if you move today. Because as we talk about all the time, problems come in cycles. But as a business owner, sometimes your bills are coming faster than people's need. So you have to be able to speed up the buying cycle. You have to be able to speed it up. Now, what speeds it up? Scarcity. Okay. If there are only so many, then I need to get one today because it's going away. Okay. If there is an end date, then I need to get it now before it goes away. If there's a bonus, then I need to get it now because that bonus won't be there forever. Okay. So you need to speed up the buying cycle because, again, if they're not opting in, then you can't have a conversation with them. You can't start sending them emails. You can't do the next part of the marketing journey because they don't know you, because you don't have their information. Had a conversation with a client the other day, and we were talking about views. Now, you might get a lot of views, but how many sales came from those views? How many people's information came from those views? Think about it. If you were in a room full of single men, ladies, and you got not one phone number, how would you contact those men? Now, you could say, ooh, girl, the party was great. There were tons of single men there, and I'm a single woman, and I was attracted to a bunch of them. But if you got no phone numbers, if you got no contact information, if you got no names, no Facebook accounts, no IG pages, how could you then develop a relationship with them? How could you use that to get to your husband? Now you just got to hope that they show up at the next party. I hope they show up at the next party. They might show up at the next party. But can you really afford to wait until the next party? Because in the time between those two parties, they could meet somebody else. Same thing in business. People watch the video. You didn't tell them to go over to grownandrich.com. So they didn't go over to grownandrich.com. Now, how do I then take those same people, because I don't know them, and they've just discovered me because they watched the video. So now how do I get in touch with them? Now, if people comment, you could kind of go through the comments and then start to build relationships that way. By, hey, thanks for commenting, thanks for sharing, those things. And that'll help you get some of the people that you don't know, who you didn't get to opt in, to still be able to build a relationship with them. But that's probably not going to be an easy task, because sometimes people watch videos and they don't want to talk to you. They just want to watch the video. Sometimes that'll get you blocked. But if you're creating customer-driven, customized content that is specifically for them, and they see the value in what you're talking about and what you're teaching, then they'll want to hear more. They'll want to learn more. They'll want to watch old videos, because they'll be able to take the stuff that you're educating them about and apply it to their business. Like if you literally just took the last 5 minutes of what I said and said, okay, I'm going to run a sale. I'm going to only have so many available. I'm going to set a time limit. And you actually ran that in conjunction with your sale, you get more people to buy. If you literally were working your referral game, and one of the main reasons I harp on referrals so much at this point in life is because there are 7.5 million pieces of content that drop every day. And with that 7.5, how are you going to cut through consistently enough to get enough strangers to do business with you in a short enough amount of time to pay your bills? So referrals, as I always say, a call today could be a sale today. So I harp on the referrals because small business owners with small teams and not a lot of money to devote to hiring marketing people who know how to generate revenue and know how to cut through the 7.5 to get you the people who are most likely to give you money. You have to do multiple things at the same time. And one of those multiple things is getting people who know you to introduce you to people who you could do business with. I tell the story all the time. Yes, I got a customer from doing lives, but then that same customer introduced me to another customer. So now I got two customers from one live. And because of that, I was able to sustain myself long enough to get some more customers from live. But then also, the people who knew those people saw the work that I was doing for them and saw how successful they were. Because I'm a marketer who actually knows how to make money with a sales background as well. And that attracted other people to me. Had a person literally say, man, I saw what you did for my sister. I want the same thing for me. So whether you're weight loss, whether you're a life coach, whether you're a mechanic, if people can see your work working for other people, then they'll trust you because the other people trust you. And if those people say, here's his number, you're going to get a sale that you didn't have to work for. You're going to get business that you did nothing to get, that you didn't spend a dollar to get, that you didn't have to boost an ad to get, just simply because you did good work for somebody else. You could try to talk to strangers, but it may take more than 30 days to break through that 7.5 that's dropping every day to get your tribe, to get your people. Because again, people are at work, people are busy, people are running around, people got stuff on their mind. And the only thing that you can do is try to tap into the thing that's on their mind that they want to do something about. That's the only thing you can do. If I'm thinking about losing weight, you need to be talking about how I can lose it. If I'm thinking about hiring people and you're a recruiting firm, you need to be talking about what I need to do to hire somebody, what I need to look for. How can I hire people who aren't going to take my money and run away? How can I hire people that maybe are a little less expensive, but still give me the same benefit as somebody who's more expensive? What do I need to look for? What questions do I need to ask? Why? Because psychologically, that's what's on that person's mind. That's what kept that person up all night. They were thinking about, man, I got to fire this guy tomorrow. Who am I going to replace him with? So you have to jump in that conversation. Shout out to Consuela. Thank you for joining in this morning, and good morning to you. So again, 7.5 pieces of content drop. How are you going to get people to fool with your content? How are you going to get people to watch long enough? Because the average attention span is 7 seconds. So how are you going to get somebody to watch at least 7 seconds? Because you need at least 2 seconds to count as a view. So if you get to 7 seconds, that's about the average. But who makes a video that's only 7 seconds long? And if you're trying to get your whole video in 7 seconds, can you really give enough valuable information to make somebody want to give you their information in return? Because again, opt in. Opt in leads to lead leads to sale. If you do it right, sale leads to money in your accounts. Money in your accounts leads to you being able to pay your bills. You are probably not able to pay yourself a 6-figure salary because you do not have enough money coming into your accounts to pay you a 6-figure salary. And even though you have money coming into your accounts, is it more money than what's going out. Is it enough money to cover all your bills and your employees and still pay you? Because if it's not, you got to get better at getting money into your accounts, which means you have to get better at getting sales, which means you have to get better at getting leads that convert to sales, that lead to sales. So it's not necessarily about, hey, man, I posted a bunch of videos. Because if you posted a bunch of videos that got views but didn't get people to give you information, you still can't turn that information into a lead because now you can't have a conversation with them. Yeah. So now what's another way that you get a lead? Okay, so we talked about using internet platforms, social media platforms, advertising, marketing to drive people to your websites and or pages. We talked about referral. And again, call today is a sale today. A referral today could be a sale by the end of the week, which could be money that you could then put in your account. Now, another way is to buy a mailing list. Now, I don't really buy mailing lists, but if you buy a mailing list, make sure that you're buying a list of people who are actually going to be good matches for your business. Now, are they over a certain age? Are they having certain problems? Do they have certain issues? Because what will happen in that particular situation is you'll get a list, you'll send them an email, they're not really interested, you'll show up in their spam or they'll block you, and then you'll be done. So you spent money on a list, half the people then opted out as opposed to opted in, and now your list is half of what it was. Now the good thing about that, the people who are left might actually buy something. And if they might actually buy something, now your job is to just gain their trust and give them an opportunity. And like we said before, if you're going to give them an opportunity, make sure you put a time limit on it. Make sure you put a limit on it so that they know that they got to buy it now because they know it's going away. You know, grocery stores don't run sales indefinitely. They run them from Wednesday to Sunday. So if you want to get, this 4 for 10 or this 3 for 5 or this 50% off, you got to come into the store between Wednesday and Saturday and Sunday night because Monday morning it's gone. Same thing in your business. You know, I can get it up with scarcity. Now when you're buying a list, like I said before, I want to repeat myself. Get a list that has a good match to what it is that you are trying to do. If you're trying to buy a list of business owners, okay, are they new business owners? Okay. Because a new business owner has different problems than somebody who's been in business for 10 years. So if you work better with people who are more established businesses, then you need a list that has more established business owners. So on and so forth. Now, another way you get leads is through joint relationships. Some people call it affiliate marketing, but it's just simply somebody, which is kind of, again, another third-party introduction, just in a different way. It's kind of a referral, but in a different way. So if you know 5 or 6 people who have businesses, now you could do something with those businesses. Like occasionally you'll see me do a podcast or be on a podcast with somebody else. And that's us linking up for the purpose of growing our audiences, or somebody bringing me on to help them educate their audience and I go on because it's going to grow mine. So if you have 100,000 people, I go on, I do a great job of helping your 100,000 people enough to where they're like, oh man, this guy's really interesting. So when they say, well, where do we find you? I give them my YouTube. I give them my website, growandrich.com. You can find me all over social media, Sadon Long, SADONLONG. And some of those people actually, of that 100,000 that person has in viewership or in followers or whatever, that person's group, some of them will actually come opt in. Same thing when I work with a company. Some of the people that bring me in, their customers will then opt in, give me information, want more from me, want me to do a speaking engagement with them, want me to take a one-on-one with them, and we do offer one-on-one workshops. So go over to growandrich.com And that's another way to get a lead. I showed up at a place. I spoke for 35 minutes. The people that I spoke about issues that they had concerns about. And then I told them, hey, man, if you want my help, you can go over to growingrich.com. When you do that, another way to get some leads. Now, here's a thing to be aware of when you're going on people's podcasts and you're reaching out, trying to become a guest. Some people gonna charge you. So even with that, there has to be a good match. Same thing when you're in a store. There has to be a good match. And not only does there have to be a good match, they also have to agree to push your product. Because it does you no good to be on somebody's podcast if they're not going to promote you. It does you no good to be speaking at somebody's chamber if they're not going to promote you. It does you no good to pull up at somebody's event if they're not going to promote you. And at the same time, you better doggone be promoting yourself. If you're going to be somewhere, you need to be talking about it every freaking day. Going live, posting about it, because your job is to get the most out of these events. Cutting that, video up and sending out pieces of the video and reels and clips and shorts. Because you make your opportunity. So if you get on a show, if you write a book, if you do anything, man, keep selling that thing. You can go get God Wants You to Dominate right now on Amazon. International bestseller. You can get The Big Picture, Secrets to Being Rich from Someone Who's Rich, co-written by me and Dwayne Rancifer on Amazon right now. You can go to growingrich.com right now. My work has generated, at this point, 8 figures. Millionaire just shouted me out the other day, said I was her favorite coach. Emmy winner, shouted me out the other day. So if you're ashamed of you and your accomplishments and you letting people, call your business little who never started a business, tell you that you're average, even though they have no statistical data to prove that you are, then you're doing yourself a disservice. You're not arrogant. You just know the facts. So promote, man. Be confident. But when you promote, make sure that you're promoting something that's not going to get ignored. That you're promoting the problems you solve, the benefit of doing business with you. Not you. Remember Luan, Emmy-winning Luan, founder of Family Life Center. We were talking after an event had taken place at the Family Life Center. And the person who had the event, everything having to do with that event was just them talking about how great they are. But people don't care how great you are unless your greatness helps them be greater. Say it again. People don't care how great you are. They care if your greatness can make them greater. If you're the number one business coach, okay, but does your coaching work for me? If you're the number one restaurant, okay, will my people be impressed when I come there? Because I'm coming to the restaurant because I want my people to be impressed. I want my wife to feel like this was the beginning of a new chapter in our life. I want my business partner to feel like, hey, man, I'm dealing with a guy who's a boss because look how they treating him in his restaurant. And if you can provide those kinds of experiences, then people will do business with you. Then people will want to keep doing business with you. People will refer you. But you have to have enough confidence to keep working the business. Because again, if you don't get people to opt in, and then you can't turn them into leads, you can't turn leads into sales. So you're capping yourself. 7.5 million pieces of content dropping a day. If you're not creating content for somebody within that 7.5 to say, hey, oh, this one's right here for me, then they're going to go to somebody else. And if they go to somebody else, they may never come back to you. Some of you people out there right now had a good opportunity to be married to somebody right out of college, right out of high school, and you didn't take the opportunity that was given to you. And you know what? Now you're sitting at home looking at Facebook going, so-and-so just had their 50th anniversary. saying that was supposed to be my life. Same thing goes for business. Okay. Some of you right now are looking at people who put out way more content than you each and every day, that is well put together, well thought out, well practiced, and it is pulling people that are supposed to be your customers away from you. You know, people who are scamming them, people who are taking their money and not giving them half the value and or impact that you're giving them, are taking your clients because you're not working hard enough. And if you say you are working hard enough, prove it. You know, your competition puts out 4 or 5 videos a day. You put out one a week. You know, your competition is reaching out to customers with their email marketing. You just got people on the mailing list that you don't talk to, basically have forgotten about, but you expect them to buy from you. You ain't sent them an email in months, but you think all of a sudden you're going to send them one email and everybody's going to open it at the same time and they're all going to send you money. Okay, give it a try. But at least if you give it a try, you can say you did something other than sit and say, man, it's hard out here right now. Other than sit and say, man, don't nobody want to work with small business owners. The reality is most people already have somebody. They already have somebody they trust. They already have somebody that they have experience with, who they know what to expect from, even if it's bad. You know, there are people right now, watch this. There are people right now in bad marriages, but they ain't leaving them because they'd rather be with the person that they know than risk going out here and meeting somebody new. Now, your job is to convince that person that, hey, I know that this isn't meeting all your needs. It isn't giving you the result that you want. It's actually keeping you from being happy, keeping you from being successful. Like hiring people who do marketing that can't actually make you any money, for example. Come on over here. You know, if you come over here, you won't have that problem anymore. If you come over here, we'll be able to help you get what you really want, which is economic security and peace and freedom. Because I'm not going to treat you like they treated you. I'm not going to ignore you. Example, I go back to what I just said 3 minutes ago. You got an email list. You're not working your email list. Now somebody else comes along and says, hey, man, we're not just going to take your information and then not follow up with you. We're not just going to take your information and then spam you. We're going to actually take your information, send you things each and every week that you could then use to improve your ability to earn money and protect your family. Now, which one of these two people are you going to feel comfortable spending money with? The one that forgot about you? Or the one that's constantly checking on you? Or the one that's circling back to you saying, how you doing and thank you, we appreciate you. Same thing in a marriage. Okay. What person do you want to be married to? The person that ignores you or the person that's tapped in with you, that's locked in with you, telling they believe in you? Who you trying to tap in with? Trying to tap into the person who's talking about you and telling people you ain't no good? Or the person that thinks the greatest of you? A person that's challenging you because they know that there's something greater in you. Now, you want top tier clients, you want top tier people, you got to be in a position to be an asset to these companies and these people in order to get them to want to choose you. Because like I said, they have options. A business owner with money can choose a whole lot of different people. Why are they choosing you? You putting out one piece of content every few weeks. You taking these emails and email addresses and you ain't doing nothing with them. You're too busy to go live. You don't have enough time to follow up with people in your DMs and your comments. So how are you going to build that trust with those people who you need to give you their money? You ghosting people? You expect the people you ghosted to then give you money? Is that realistic? So again, if you get a joint venture, if you get a partnership, an opportunity, you have to take full advantage of it. You got to know exactly what the problems of their audience is, exactly what they need to do in order to help you. So I know what the problem is. Now, what can I do to help you? Okay, if you came on and you were on here for maybe 20, 30 minutes and you talked about this and you talked about that, because I know a lot of times my customers have a problem with this, now you become helpful to the person who is the owner of the platform. You become helpful to the customer. And guess what? They invite you back again. Okay. I say this from somebody who, if I'm ever on your show, you're probably inviting me back. I've taken one-offs and turned them into a series of appearances multiple times. Why? Because I was helpful to their audience. Why? Because I was helpful to the person who owned the platform. Okay. I was promoting me. I was bringing eyeballs to the platform. I was promoting them. I was bringing eyeballs to their platform that they wouldn't normally get. And then I was impactful and helpful and helping them educate their audience. So now you become one of the shows that maybe isn't the most viewed, but that they got the most comments about, or maybe that they got the most business from, or maybe that they got the most positive feedback from. Maybe not their highest viewed show, because sometimes views don't translate into sales. And if you're working in a business field, you need views, but you need customers more. You need to get people to get eyeballs on you, yes, but you need people to opt in, give you information so that you can build relationships that lead to enough trust that when they're in their buying cycle, they think of you, they call you, and they give you money. Because when people say, we'll call you back, that's really you haven't built enough trust yet. They have not decided in their mind that you are the one who can solve their problem. That's all that is. It ain't your race. It ain't because they cheat. It's that you have not done a good enough job in proving to them that you are trustworthy enough to solve their problem. Okay? Because they're going to pick somebody at some point. But why isn't it you? Why would it be you? That one piece of content ain't going to get it. That occasional email asking for some sales, but not giving them any information that they can use when they're not giving you money, ain't going to get it. But you need this to work, because the better it works, the higher the opportunity for you to pay yourself a salary in the six figures. I'm qualified to say this because I've ultimately helped multiple businesses do millions of dollars. Not once, not twice. Multiple businesses now. So when you have that kind of money now, your line of credit is through the roof, because you can leverage your money to get credit, because they're looking at your ability to pay and saying, oh, wow, man, this person's got cash. So we'll give them credit. Weird, I know. This person's got cash, so we'll give them credit. So if we can get your cash up, now you can go out and get a line of credit. So if you want to start a new location, or if you want to buy some new trucks or new ovens, or more materials or more inventory, or take some training or get some coaching, now you'll have the revenue coming in that you can then use to use to leverage your credit. Now, what's made Donald Trump so great as a business owner is that he keeps getting people to float him. He keeps getting people to give him money. He keeps getting people to give him lines of credit. Now, he's not building hotels with money out of his pocket. He's building hotels with people's money. And in some cases, he's just licensing it under his name. Again, easy money for him. And for my people at home, you can be like Donald Trump too and license out your name. If you're popping in your city, put your name on some of these events. Because if you put your name on these events, people will pull up. Put your name on some of these businesses. Because if your name's on the business, people are pulling up. So if you see somebody who's got a bakery and you're popular in the city, partner with that person. They give you a fee and or a percentage of the profits, but make sure it is a profitable business. And now you can use your name, image, and likeness to get money. If you Fly Freddy, you could have Fly Freddy's Cleaners. You could have Fly Freddy's Car Lot. You could have Fly Freddy's Fish and Tackle, whatever. Because people know Fly Freddy. And wherever Fly Freddy pull up, they at. We wasted way too much time just doing hostings. If you can do a hosting, you can license your name to a business. Because it's the same concept. Get people to come out, give them money, give you their money, because they want to be around you. So hosting could turn into a car wash, could turn into a bookstore, could turn into a restaurant, whatever. Why do you think guys like Puffy open restaurants? Why? Because if it's Puffy's restaurant, or probably not now, but before, if it was Puffy's restaurant, people would come out. Why do you think Jay-Z opened the 40/40 Club? It's just a big hosting. So now people come out because, oh, that's Jay-Z's, or it's Wolfgang Puck's. But if you're popular in your city and you could get people to come out to the nightclub, you can also get people to come out to a whole bunch of businesses that you can then use to create the kind of wealth that you need to pay yourself a very large salary, or to create another large salary stream of income. So if you're getting money from hostings, and now you're getting money because you opened a car wash, because the same people that come to the club are the same people that got to get their car cleaned to go to the club. Now you got another stream of income. Okay. You got two streams of income. Now you got an opportunity to leverage that to get some credit. Now you got an opportunity to take that credit and get into a third business. So now you got three streams of income paying you $60,000 to $100,000 a year. All off your name, image, and likeness. And people are going to pull up because even your haters want to see what you're doing. But if you're not doing anything, this is impossible. If you're not promoting yourself, if you're not promoting content that cuts through the 7.5 and gets the people who are most likely to do business with you to pay attention to you. I mean, think about it. Look at Kevin Hart. Look at Grant Cardone. Look at Steve Harvey. Grant Cardone was like, ooh, let me get Kevin Hart on here. Let me get Steve Harvey on here. I'll pay them to come out. Why? Because I know if they come out, they're going to bring audiences with them. And all they do is come out and tell their story and talk about what it is that they do. But the same thing applies within your city. But you got to promote it. You got to push it. You got to be aggressively trying to outwork your competition. Because if you're not, your competition is going to outwork you. But go over to growingrich.com and get a free 30 with me. Why wouldn't you? It's free. I'm proven. You could pay somebody who's never made $1 for anybody. You could pay somebody who's never been in the room with millionaires, learning from them and them learning from me. So why would you go anywhere else? Just saying. I mean, if you've actually been in the room when the money's being made and you know how to make the money, cool. But if you don't, go to growingrich.com, man. Today. Why delay? It's summer. Your kids are out of school. This is the perfect time for you to get this thing going. As always, man, it's your business big bro, sit down long, a.k.a. Mr. Better Than Your 401k, a.k.a. the most dangerous man in marketing, with another episode of Successful Marketing, Sales, and Relationships for adult business owners and entrepreneurs. Have a great Tuesday. I'm out. Love you.